Welcome to the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager. It's the Lakers and the Cavaliers. Chris Mim, Zydrunas is what he said. Ilgauskas on the opening tip.
With a Z.
Yes.
Zydrunas, yes.
And the Lakers control. Kobe Bryant played by Ira Newble. This is Chris Mim setting the pick. And Bryant fires for three. Kept alive by Lamar Odom. It counts, and the foul.
Marvin, this Laker team was much better when Shaq was here, but you know they're shooting a lot of but they're shooting a lot of threes, and long rebounds generally come off of these missed threes, and nobody from Cleveland is there to cover the basket. Would you agree with my assessment, Marv, about
foul on Ilgauskas, and this is a Laker team that has been fighting away from downtown. Last night, not successful in the loss in Denver, just 5 of 29 from three-point land. So the Cavaliers to the offense for the first time. Ilgauskas played by Mim. This is Jeff McGinnis getting it right back down. And here is McGinnis.
Contrast in styles right away. You can see Cleveland going down into the block to Ilgauskas, and the rotation leads to the wide open shot.
Lakers at 18 and 15, number 6 team in the West. Off the turnover, here comes LeBron James playing with that face mask, protecting the broken cheekbone. James using the pick, met on the switch by Odom. Ilgauskas with the step. Nice move by Ilgauskas.
How about the pass from LeBron James? So quick with those hands, and he's a guy who thinks pass first as opposed to Kobe, who makes shot first.
Odom being played by Gooden. And Odom is tripped up by Gooden.
This is Lamar Odom's forte, putting the ball on the floor, and a guy who's 6'11" with long arms, unusual skills for a guy his size. He likes to face up, put the ball on the floor, and drive past smaller and slower defenders.
This is a point we'll get to when the actual telecast gets underway.
Sure,
but Lamar Odom really struggling and does not seem to be able to be in sync with Kobe Bryant. There's so many similarities between the two.
Both guys need the ball, and it seems like frequently Odom is just left standing still while Kobe does his thing.
And Kobe Bryant goes glass. Lakers lead 5-4.
He took that shot twice last week against Houston from that same angle. I think he's learning from Tim Duncan how to use that glass.
And as Ilgauskas makes his move, he draws the foul. It is on Mim.
Kobe might try more things and try to add new things to his game more than anybody in the NBA. He's constant. Remember last year he went through that phase where everything was a left-handed shot, and now he's shooting bank shots, and he really likes to experiment with the game itself.
Ilgauskas, an 83% free throw shooter. Guy's had a history of injuries, but he has played in 81 games each of the past 2 years.
Kind of a forgotten man, wouldn't you say? He's generally regarded as probably the second best center in the East after Shaq, but doesn't get a lot of recognition.
Averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds. Here's Caron Butler.
Cleveland overloading the side with Kobe in isolation, and that leaves Butler wide open for the jumper.
Lakers trying to crowd James. Another nice pass to set it up for Gooden. And then came away with it. Comes Butler. He has Atkins on the wing. Butler trying to take all the way and draws the foul.
Now that's 2 on Gooden. Butler did a great job of pump faking and getting Gooden in the air, and we're going to see Anderson Varejao. Is that how you pronounce it?
He has changed the pronunciation of his name several times this season. He says now Varejao.
Varejao. There was an N in there at some point, not literally, but font. What would be the correct term, phonetically?
Yeah, he said that he really takes issues with those who have put the N in there. Several broadcasters around the league.
I did not put it, so you can't pin this one on me. This guy has really brought a lot of energy to this club, and he's really pushed Gooden. Gooden has had a terrific season, and the two of them together have done a nice job of replacing Carlos Boozer.
In fact, Varejao came to the Cavaliers in the deal involving Drew Gooden, originally a second-round pick of the Orlando Magic. Lakers with a 9-5 lead, trying to turn it from the poor performance last night against the Nuggets in Denver. Cavaliers have won 4 straight, 6 of the last 7. James not able to hit, rebounded by Mim. And Bryant putting moves on Newell, and goes behind the back for Mim. Comes up short.
A little out of his range. Mim is a guy who can comfortably make about a 12-footer. You get him out to about 17, he struggles.
And off the steal, it's a 2-on-1. Butler is rejected from behind by Varejao. What a terrific hustle play by the rookie from Brazil.
Well, look at the speed. This guy, remember, he's about 6'10", and he outraces everybody down the floor and actually catches Caron Butler. It's a great play.
Here's Odom on a catch and shoot, way off, rebounded by James. McGinnis, nice move by Jeff McGinnis, 8-year man out of North Carolina, has come back strong after suffering that injured right shoulder late last season. Lakers with a 9-7 lead on the Cavaliers. Mim getting good position. Chris Mim has been a surprising player. Former Cavalier, spent 4 years with Cleveland as a backup for the most part.
Finally having a little stability in his career. He played for 5 different coaches in 3+ seasons in Cleveland, and this looks like he has a home now here in Los Angeles.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas brings the Cavs within 2. We're just underway here in Los Angeles. Played by James to keep that ball alive. Here's James taking all the way. One with the left hand. It's tipped home by Ilgauskas.
Well, how about the strength of LeBron James, just getting to any point he wants on the floor. And though he missed the shot, he put the ball up on the glass where Ilgauskas could get it.
Zydrunas hit his first 3 shots. He has 7 points. Game tied at 11. Here's Odom spinning his way, and you saw Varejao hit the deck off the fake. Lakers up by 2 for the Cavaliers. It's game 1 of a 6-game West Coast trip. McGinnis again.
Boy, has he improved his outside shooting. Now shooting about 40% from the three-point line. Really wasn't a three-point shooter until the last couple of years.
Innes has hit his first 3 shots. Very close to a discontinue again. Varejao went to the floor on the fake. Ilgauskas with the rebound. Here's James all the way. Oh, what a spectacular move by LeBron James on a hesitation, able to take it to the rim.
Reminiscent of the doctor, Julius Erving, swooping into the hole.
Good look from Kobe to get it down low to him.
You can see once again Cleveland really overloading that side. Anytime Kobe is in isolation, they've got to do a better job of rotating back to the basket.
Game tied at 15. We've hit the midpoint of this first quarter. Ilgauskas. And here comes Atkins, racing with McGinnis. Butler. Steve, I think you've done some of your finest work here in this first quarter.
It's been inspiring, Marv.
And look out.
Kobe.
Yes, holding that right ankle.
Oh, jeez.
This crowd is hushed. Timeout is called as Gary Vitti, Laker trainer, is out to take a look. We'll have a report on the status of Kobe Bryant momentarily. Lakers and Cavaliers now tied at 17. 5 minutes to play in this first quarter. Here's Butler. A series of fakes, but not able to hit. Rebounded by Ilgauskas. St. Jones has come on replacing Kobe Bryant. Ira Newell had an open shot. Here's Odom with the step.
Well, with Kobe out, you've got to look for Lamar Odom to now try to take over the game offensively for Los Angeles. He feels very comfortable with the ball in his hands.
And a good start for Odom, who's been quiet as of late. Odom now has 7 points. Foul is called on Chucky Atkins. McInnes to the line, fouled on the act. Second team foul on the Lakers. Jeff McInnes, fired from Portland last January in his 8th NBA season. But the concern here in LA is the physical status of Kobe Bryant, who appeared to roll his ankle as he and Ira Newell came together a couple of minutes back. And Kobe was helped back to the Los Angeles locker room. Odom kicks it out to Butler, passed on the long range shot, and then the pass turned over. Here comes James for McInnes.
What a beautiful feed from LeBron James. Such a wonderful passer, great feel for the game. Terrific play.
Jeff McInnes, 4 of 4 from the field. He has 10 points. Cavaliers have shot the ball well, 9 for 15 here at the start. Butler open, and then the shot was changed because of Anderson Fowler's. Very unselfish play by the Cavaliers. You saw Anderson set it up for the wide open Ira Newell.
It's a shot that Newell has really worked on the last couple of years. He's always been a very defensive-minded player, but he knows to be on the floor, he's got to be able to knock down the open shot.
Cleveland up 23-19, 8-0 run by the Cavs. Odom is a foul by Rozier.
Boy, Odom just looks like he was suddenly thrust into the lineup and ready to go. All of a sudden, with Kobe out, he's the focal point. He's really attacking the rim.
Odom to the line as Brian Grant gets set to check in for the first time. As Grant, who has made it back after suffering tendonitis in the right knee. Over the years, that has been a problem. Brian with both knees. Grant comes on for Mim. Lakers on a stretch playing 9 of 11 at home, starting with tonight, Saturday night at Golden State. Back home for 4 in a row. But not easy games, the 4, including Seattle, Utah playing better. Ilgauskas with a little scoop move.
They have played very well against the West, or one of the few teams in the Eastern Conference with a winning record against the West.
All right, here's Grant going glass with a flip shot.
He's an important part of this team, Marv. He offers a very strong defensive presence for Los Angeles. They've missed him in the early part of the season with that injury.
Here's McInnes for 3, and he is on fire. 5 for 5, 13 points.
And LeBron James doing the smart thing, finding the open hot man.
Assist number 3 for LeBron James. And a timeout is taken by Paul Silas. A capacity crowd, better than 19,000 turning out here at Staples Center in Los Angeles. The Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Los Angeles Lakers in the second of our doubleheader. As you see, 2 minutes remaining in this opening quarter, and Cleveland up 28-22. It's Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, and Craig Sager. But the story here tonight, the physical status of Kobe Bryant. Now, this is the scene midway through the first quarter. You see Kobe being helped back to the Laker locker room. Brian Grant, Devin George, another injured member of the Lakers, helping Kobe off this play where Kobe, Steve, rolled his ankle.
You couldn't quite see it. You'll see a better angle here. Watch the ankle, and that's a pretty sharp roll right on the foot of Ira Newble. And I would think Kobe would certainly be out the rest of this game and probably for a little bit of an extended period of time. Of course, we'll find out soon when we get a report from Craig Sager.
And this crowd has been hushed since that particular fall by Kobe Bryant. Cleveland, meanwhile, 12 of 18 from the field as they have shot 67%. Lamar Odom, who just scored, now has 10, and this puts the focus on Lamar Odom with Kobe sideline.
Well, it looks like he was let out of a cage because he has just been explosive here, and I think he senses that now this becomes his game. He's very effective here in the early going, really attacking the rim.
Nice play as Anderson Varejao was blocked. 1:20 remaining in this first quarter. The Los Angeles Lakers, an up-and-down team throughout the season. Here's Odom. Lakers at 18-15. They come off a loss in Denver last night. Did not play well. They lost to the Nuggets by 12, while Cleveland starting a 6-game West Coast trip. They're 21-12, second best record in the East, 4.5 behind Miami. Here's Ira Newble for 3, kept alive by LeBron James. LeBron has opened up looking for teammates, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 of 4 from the field. Ilgauskas has had the hot hand, being played by Grant. Here's Adrunas Ilgauskas. And the tip kept alive by Ilgauskas.
Great offensive rebounding work by both Ilgauskas and Varejao, both of them attacking the rim. And it's been an impressive start here, Marv, as you said, for Cleveland, shooting 56%. They've got 9 assists to just 1 turnover, so excellent offensive execution.
Cavaliers have won 4 straight, 6 of their last 7. Shot clock to 5. Jermaine Jones for 3. Lakers have been 3-point happy. It's a 24-second violation last night against the Nuggets, just 5 for 29 from downtown.
That's been sort of the MO all year for the Lakers, taking so many threes, and they're only 11th in field goal percentage from the three-point line. So it's not like they're Sacramento or Dallas or Phoenix from the last couple of years making all these threes. They're missing a lot, and I think it's hurting them. I think they're taking too many.
Pierre Brown has checked in for the first time for the Lakers. A reach-in foul is called. Foul on Butler, that is his first. And for the Lakers, 14 fouls. Final seconds of this first quarter. Here's James with a pullback move on Butler. Swings away, trying to go glass. What a beautiful maneuver by LeBron James, although he did not score.
He may have traveled too, but he certainly got away with it.
After 1, here at Staples, it's the Cavaliers 30. The Lakers, 24.
I was sitting around my room wondering this afternoon about the Cavaliers. LeBron James averaging 24 points per game this year. Who was the all-time leading scorer for the Cavs in terms of single season? I thought of some of the guys that I played with, maybe Larry Nance, Brad Doherty, Mark Price. Turns out Mike Mitchell. Who would have ever guessed?
Austin Carr was a guess when we ran a test earlier with staff members, but Mike Mitchell, who ended up playing with San Antonio.
And I think he's more known as a Spur. If you think of Mike Mitchell, you think of those days with George Gervin and James Silas and that team, but he averaged almost 25 a game for the Cavs.
I think that's a pretty good Steve Wonders. Second out of the box, strong.
We're starting to build some momentum here with Steve Wonders.
Cavaliers 32, Lakers 29. For those of you who may have just joined us, Kobe Bryant midway through the first quarter went down as he and Ira Newble came together, and appeared that Kobe rolled his ankle, had to be helped back to the locker room. And they are taking x-rays. We'll have a report shortly. A beautiful pass. James with the setup. Traylor could not put it down, but Cavaliers maintain possession. They now go with the backcourt of Lucius Harris and Eric Snow. James up front, along with Traylor and Gooden. And foul is called. It's on the Lakers. Sasha Vujacic just came on, picks it up. Let's check in with Craig Sager by the Laker locker room.
Well, you mentioned that Marv mentioned that Kobe had to be helped off the court. Also, as he got towards the locker room, he could not put any weight on it at all. Kind of collapsed to the floor. That's when a couple of teammates then picked him up, carried him in. He was in a lot of pain. They have taken x-rays. Those x-rays have now returned. They're back in there with the doctors looking at them. We should have a report shortly on whether or not they were negative.
I will be checking back with Craig momentarily as we take another look at how that injury was sustained by Kobe Bryant.
This is how most sprained ankles occur in the NBA. You land on somebody's foot, whether you've gone up for a jump shot or a rebound, and when you roll that thing like that, that is extremely painful and usually takes a couple of weeks at least to heal.
Time Gooden try to force it down low. Tierre Brown now working the point for the Lakers. Odom changed his mind, and it will count. It's a goaltend. Tierre Brown will get credit, and you can see that the Lakers are reluctant to take the three-point shots as they have in recent games.
Well, 5 for 29 last night, Marv, but also with Kobe Bryant out, the game becomes more a Lamar Odom type game, and he's more about penetrating and dishing.
However, Lucius Harris, who could hit the three, puts it down, and the Cavs now lead at 35-32. Lucius Harris, originally a second-round draft pick of Dallas, and spent the last 7 years in New Jersey, an important player off the bench for the Nets, making it to 2 NBA Finals the last 3 years. That's a three-point attempt and a foul. Sasha Vujacic, looking to hit from downtown, was fouled by Traylor. Not a good foul by Tractor Traylor.
No, you never want to foul a jump shooter, but on top of that, Vujacic has played just 37 minutes on the entire season, so the last thing you want to do is give him a few free points early in the game to build his confidence, and obviously he's in because of Kobe's injury, and everybody on the bench moves up one spot.
Sasha, the rookie out of Slovenia, first-round draft pick, 27th overall in the draft, spent the last 3 years playing in Italy, and noted to be a long-range shooter.
Excellent guard who can play either position. Some people have compared him to sort of a Danny Ainge style player. Now, he hasn't had a chance to play, but this is the kind of opportunity that guys on the bench in the NBA have to be ready for. You practice every day just in case you get a shot, and here's his chance.
Ryan Cook has come on for the first time. Cook last night in the loss in Denver, 0 of 8 from the field. Rudy Tomjanovich blasted the team at halftime last night. At the end of the game, Lakers losing to a team, the Nuggets, that had major problems in terms of transportation. In fact, they arrived following the game the night before in Sacramento. They arrived 8:30 in the morning yesterday, yet they had more energy than the Lakers, who looked to be a dead team last night. There's Brown passing on the three, and it's tipped home by Jermaine Jones.
A very disheartening loss for the Lakers last night because of the travel situation for Denver, but also the Lakers had been coming off 2 of their best wins of the year over Houston, as Gooden gets called for his 3rd foul, and that's a big one for Cleveland.
Yes, they beat Houston and then Minnesota, and then the poor performance last night. Let's check in again with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Marv, Kobe has a severely sprained right ankle. The x-rays were negative. However, he's in a lot of pain right now, and they say he will need an MRI tomorrow to see if there's any possible ligament damage. But the x-rays are negative as far as any break, but it's a severely sprained ankle. MIR tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Craig. Off the steal, here comes Harris protecting the ball, draws the foul. Basket would not count, and Paul Silas is upset because a Cleveland hand reached in, was offensive interference, and that might have dropped.
It might have dropped, and the whistle had already blown. So if you're a player on Cleveland, you've got to just stay off the rim regardless. Nothing good can come of it with that whistle having already blown. How about the news for the Lakers? I mean, this looks bad. This is a team that is in 6th place in the West, but just a couple of games ahead of a number of teams, including Memphis and Houston. A lot of teams playing well behind them now. And if they're without Kobe here for an extended period of time, they could really fall back in this playoff hunt.
And the Lakers have been up and down throughout the season. They were going for their 3rd straight win last night. They have not been able to win more than 2 in a row. For the 7th time this season, they tried to extend to a 3-game win streak, but lost to Denver. In fact, Steve, only 6 of the NBA's 30 teams. Here's Cook for 3 and able to knock it down. Only 6 of the NBA's 30 teams have yet to win 3 straight, and the Lakers are one of those 6. And out of the 6, they are the only team with a winning record.
And they also failed to win a 2nd consecutive road game last night, which would have been the first time for that all season as well.
Ira Newble, who not only has been doing it defensively, in fact, he opened up tonight against Kobe Bryant, but he does get many open shots for good reason, but he's been hitting those open shots. It's a 3-point attempt by Cook, kept alive by Mim, who just came back on, and now Atkins resets. 6 minutes, 15 seconds to play in this first half. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager were at Staples in LA, and the Lakers have taken a 1-point lead.
You know, interesting talking to Paul Silas before the game. His whole game plan was based on stopping Kobe. Now all of a sudden he's not here, so they've got to figure out what they're going to try to do defensively.
I would think for a head coach that's a pleasant adjustment to try and
yes, well put. But what happens frequently is guys like Vujacic come off the bench and you're not sure what he can do.
Timeout taken with just under 6 remaining in this first half.
Tonight's Players Trader is brought to you by Mercury. Let's take a look at a little screen and roll action here from the Lakers. You'll see now a screen set by Brian Cook. Now, Vujacic is going to come off, and you see here you've got Ira Newble reacting along with the weak side defenders on Cleveland looking for the reaction on the penetration. As soon as Vujacic enters the lane, now you've got 5 Cleveland defenders all in the lane and some good perimeter shooters for the Lakers waiting for a pass. Now it's just a scramble, and when you've got to make a decision like Ira Newble does here with either Chucky Atkins or Brian Cook, it's pick your poison. Both of them excellent 3-point shooters, and Cook knocks it down.
All right, Cavaliers inbound. Sasha Pavlovic has checked in for the first time. Second-year man from Serbia has played very well off the bench. Here is McInnes. He's had the hot hand. And rebounded by Vujacic. Atkins and Vujacic in the backcourt. Atkins met by Newble on the switch. Here's Mim getting it down low. Cook inside. Cook with the tip. Tipped again and rebounded by Ilgauskas.
You can see Marv Cook much more comfortable as a perimeter shooter, not really a low post guy.
Cook able to reach for that rebound. Lakers have a 1-point lead. They've come from behind. Cavaliers have led by as many as 8. Atkins threw it away. Here's McInnes. Vujacic able to get back. It's a 3-on-1. McInnes did not realize the steal by Vujacic. Finding Cook. Nice play for Mim. Beautiful passing by the Lakers.
How about the hands of Vujacic on it, basically by himself. 3-on-1, makes the steal, and then results in the easy lay-in the other way for Mim.
This is the first of 2 meetings between the Lakers and Cavaliers. Lakers won both games last year. They won 3 straight, 9 of the last 10 here in LA. Ilgauskas off the fake is fouled by Mim. The last time that Cleveland won here in LA against the Lakers, December of 1997, Steve, when you were a mere child.
About a 12th year veteran at that point, Marv, but who's counting?
Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Marv, I just spoke with Dr. Stephen Lombardo of the Los Angeles Lakers. He gave me further insight into the injury. Not only is it a severely sprained ankle, x-rays were negative, but he said what happened is when he came down on Ira Newell's foot, he did not just roll it outside, he rolled it forward and out. It's called a plantar flexion invasion. And he says that this ligament here could either be strained or torn because he rolled it forward and back. It's a very serious injury if those ligaments are torn. That's why they need the MRI tomorrow. He's having the ankle iced and also put in the splint right now.
All right, Craig, obviously this could be awful news for the Lakers.
It could be their season, frankly. I mean, they're not a great team to start with, obviously. So without Kobe, they're in real trouble.
Butler able to keep it alive. This is the second of our TNT doubleheader. Earlier tonight in overtime, the Rockets beat the Nets in Houston 94-85. That's 3 straight for Houston. They go to 19-17. Nice move by Atkins. And back comes James. LeBron tried to deliver it, but behind the back of Pavlovich. So the ball back to the Lakers. You see LeBron still playing with that face mask protecting the broken cheekbone, and it has not affected his play. LeBron not particularly comfortable wearing the face guard, but he has played exceptionally well.
He's actually shot the ball better since he put the mask on. You saw there, he's still prone to make mistakes at times, as you see the offensive foul by Mim, but LeBron had 8 turnovers the other night against Charlotte, Marvin. I think that he's so good and so talented. He's only in his second year. We have to remember that. He still has moments where he's trying to do a little bit too much.
Against the Bobcats, he played 49 of a possible 53 minutes, 29 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and the 8 turnovers.
But what I'm so impressed about with this young guy is the fact that he just wants to move the ball on if somebody's open. He doesn't always try to make the spectacular pass. I watched one possession in that game, late in the game, where the ball hit his hands 3 times. Each time he moved it on, and that's a teammate's dream, when a guy hits you when you're open.
Gauskas, and the tip by James. LeBron James showing his leaping ability, able to slap it down.
That's why people pay the big bucks to see that guy play. Incredible athleticism.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Vucevic. That's a 3-point attempt. Nice play. Butler kept it alive. The Bucks out by Butler on James.
Lakers hanging in here without Kobe, getting a nice contribution from Vucevic. He's given Lakers a lot of energy here.
You get the idea, Steve. Now, obviously, the Lakers would prefer to have Kobe Bryant. They are much looser in this scenario.
No question. I always felt as a player when the star was knocked out with an injury, you just loosened up and shot and had fun. There wasn't anything to lose.
The ball back to the Lakers as a timeout is taken with 2.5 to play in this first half.
Well, we talked about LeBron's passing ability, but look at the leaping ability, climbing up and over the Lakers rebounders and slamming this thing home.
Back in Los Angeles, Lakers now up by 1 after trailing by as many as 8. It is a star-studded night here in Los Angeles. Chris Rock, Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton just got back from his ski vacation, I see.
Stella Reese. Denzel on hand.
Wearing the Giants hat tonight, usually sporting the Yankee cap.
And there is the Donald with wedding bells on the horizon. Steve proudly displaying the wedding invitation. Nice that Donald invited you, Margot, the kids.
Eating ice cream, too. Not too worried about fitting into that tux for the wedding. Always a thrill as a player. You know, NBA players are famous, but they love celebrities just like anybody else, and it's a great place to play.
Vucevic setting it up. Here's Atkins for 3. Rebounded by Odom. Looks to kick it out and then changes his mind. A lot of contact. Cavaliers looking for the foul as Harris took the pop. Here's Grant. And Harris comes away with it, and a foul is called on Odom, but the Lakers very aggressive on the offensive glass.
Well, Marvin, ever since the first quarter, the Lakers have really taken it to Cleveland. Remember the offensive execution of the Cavaliers in the first quarter? They had 9 assists and just 1 turnover. Since then, 8 turnovers and 3 assists. Meanwhile, the Lakers have out-rebounded them 15-6. So ever since Kobe went down, this team has really picked up the slack.
Lakers, however, just 1 of 7 from downtown. James way off.
Like he was trying to bank that thing a la Tim Duncan, but way off on the angle.
Ron James now 4 of 10 from the field. With Butler with the step. Butler is fouled. Ilgauskas tried to cut him off. And he's called for a second foul. Now, I'm not sure if that was a positive regarding Steve Wonders.
I don't think it was.
No.
Is this Kenny Ponders? Is that what
Yes.
they're doing? Tell you what, one thing I loved that Caron Butler did right there, getting to the foul line, he faked the three-point line rather than just casting it. And the Lakers are number 1 in the NBA in attempts. I'd like to see them use that line to set up drives to the basket, just like Butler did there.
Butler's played well, 10 points, 6 rebounds, another Laker deflection leading to the steal. Atkins fires it out. Vujacic for 3. And the Lakers continue to have difficulty from beyond that three-point line. Brian Grant took a shot to the forehead.
Boy, is he battling under there. And that's what this guy has done his entire career. Remember, he had so many good years in Portland. Just occupies some space down there and so active. And he's going to bang with everybody. You have a force like this on the offensive glass. Awfully effective weapon for any team.
And Ilgauskas called for that foul on Grant. Sits down after picking up his 3rd tractor trailer. Comes back on.
3 fouls now, Marv, for both Gooden and Ilgauskas. So we'll see a lot of tractor trailer and probably Anderson Varejao as well.
Reminder, national coverage of the NBA continues this week. Tomorrow night on ESPN2, it'll be Dallas and San Antonio starting 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then on ESPN, it's Minnesota and Denver, a 10:30 start. Saturday on NBA TV, San Antonio and Houston at 8:30 Eastern time. Game's now being played by Odom. Shot clock down to 6. Here's LeBron. Rebounded by Butler. Lakers on the run. Butler thought that Grant knew the pass was coming, but Grant thought that Butler would take the shot.
Well, Grant was ready for the inbounds, or for the rebound, and speaking of inbounds, McGinnis gets back, and the Lakers were busy complaining to each other about the turnover, arguing over who was at fault, and Cleveland gets it easy too.
And you can hear the reaction from the crowd. Lakers hearing the boos as they did not get back. So the Lakers now lead 47-45. Here's Odom. Strong move by Odom beating James, and then trailer.
This is where Odom is at his best, when he can take advantage of that size. This is why a lot of Laker fans think that he should be playing the 3, where he has a size advantage over most of his defenders. Right now, LeBron James on him. He's going to try to take him down on the block.
Odom has 14 points. Here's James with time running down, and no help. And again, the Lakers are talking amongst themselves, and it is not happy chatter.
At the other end, Odom has the size advantage. At this end, LeBron James with a major speed advantage. Tough matchup for Lamar Odom.
10 points for James. McGinnis leading the Cavs with 15. Odom, the high point man for the Lakers, with 14. The Cavaliers led by as many as 8. Lakers now lead by 2. Let's go to Craig with Lamar Odom.
Well, midway through that first quarter, the Lakers lose Kobe Bryant to severely sprained ankle. Lamar Odom, what adjustments did you guys have to make?
Yeah, just everyone has to just become aggressive, and that much better when we lose our best player in the league.
You have to play the second half with him as well. What we have to do differently in the second half?
We got to do the same thing we just did in the first half. Rebound the ball as a team, and everyone has to be aggressive. It's a big low when Kobe's out, but it's a test for our team. Everybody said we can't play. We're not good without Kobe, so it's a big test for us.
Right now, the Lakers up by 2, playing without Kobe Bryant, as we mentioned, a severely sprained right ankle. He'll have an MRI tomorrow.
Welcome back to Staples in Los Angeles. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager. Lakers with a 49-47 lead on the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the big story tonight, midway through the first quarter, Kobe Bryant went down, suffered a severely sprained right ankle, came down on the foot of Ira Newble of the Cavs. X-rays were negative. There will be an MRI tomorrow. They will look to see if there is ligament damage. And, of course, this all crushing news for the Lakers. But, Steve, as it turns out, and this is only short term, but the Lakers picked up their play and they outscored the Cavs in the second quarter, 25-17. The Lakers sparked by Lamar Odom.
I think this happens sometimes when a superstar get injured. Guys pick up the energy and rally, and Lamar Odom was terrific. He really attacked the glass and led the Lakers really to a big advantage in points in the paint, 30-22 in the first half. And Cleveland's defense was really pathetic. I mean, look at this. He gets right to the rim, nobody helping, and he gets right to the rim on a fast break. So you better believe that Paul Silas talked to his team at halftime about points in the paint and the aggressiveness. Look at the numbers. Cavaliers shot much better, but the Lakers were the aggressor. They got to the foul line. They had 13 offensive rebounds and 15 bench points. So the Laker reserves came in, did a nice job when Bryant left the game.
Look at our Jeep game summary. Just moments ago, Craig caught up with Laker head coach Rudy Tomjanovich.
Well, the Lakers will play the rest of this game without Kobe Bryant, a severely sprained right ankle. Coach, you got a chance to talk to him at halftime. How worried is he and how worried are you?
God, I don't know. You know, it's listed as a severely sprained ankle, and they're going to take a test, and we'll see how long he's out, of course, and we're very concerned.
An interesting moment there at halftime. LeBron James came out of the Cleveland locker room, came into your locker room to see how, obviously, Kobe was doing a class act by him.
A classy move. He's a good guy. You know, they're both great players, and nobody likes to see anybody get hurt.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, Mark.
All right, thank you, Craig. There's LeBron, who had 10 points, 5 of 12 shooting in the first half, 7 rebounds, 4 assists.
And still considers Kobe Bryant one of his mentors. Kobe helped him when LeBron came out of high school, helped him prepare for the league. And LeBron talking last week about the enormous respect he has for Kobe and his respect for the game itself.
High point man for the Cavaliers, Jeff McGinnis, in his 20 minutes of play, 6 of 7, 15 points. Here is Zydrunas Ilgauskas, rebounded by Lamar Odom.
I think Cleveland's got to reestablish that low post game here in the third quarter, Mark.
Nice touch by Caron Butler, and he has shot the ball well. Butler now has 12 points.
Interesting, Lakers shot 8 3-pointers in the first half. They averaged 23, so I thought they did a much better job of really keeping their offense under control and attacking the rim.
And the Lakers going with a backcourt of the rookie Sasha Vujacic and Chucky Atkins. Here's Lamar Odom getting the step. Odom up front along with Mim and Butler.
Well, Odom missed the shot, but he looks like a different guy without Kobe Bryant on the floor as Atkins gets called for the foul. But there's been a lot of talk this year about Odom and Bryant not really coexisting well. And I think part of the problem is that both really need the ball. Now all of a sudden Kobe goes down and you can see Lamar's eyes are lit up and he's really attacking.
Drew Gooden has played well for the Cavaliers. Drew taking over for the departed Carlos Boozer, who the Cavs will meet up with Saturday night against the Jazz in Utah.
Well, that'll be interesting, but the better one will be when they play them in Cleveland.
Oh, Lamar Odom with a strong move down low, and the Lakers have a 4-point lead.
I can't imagine the Cavaliers fans will welcome Lamar back with open arms.
LeBron James with another gorgeous move, able to extend and go glass, and the Lakers now lead 53-51.
How about the extension with that right arm that LeBron uses? Just gets so high, it just puts the ball up and over the defense.
Here's Odom for 3. Rebounded by Newble. Guinness and Newble at the guards. James with Ilgauskas and Gooden up front. Ilgauskas not able to hit it. Snatched by Gooden. Gooden fires it up. Drew Gooden with his second field goal. Both have come here in the third quarter. The game is tied at 53. Mim, he thought he was fouled, took a swipe, and kept going, so the Lakers lead by 2.
Boy, Paul Silas is just furious. Lakers have had so many easy buckets here tonight, and normally Cleveland a very good defensive team.
Gooden again. 6 points for Gooden. within a minute and a half of this third quarter.
He's had a terrific season, Marv, averaging 14 points, 10 boards, shooting 52%, which is 8th best in the league. A lot of people wondered if Cleveland could replace Boozer. Well, the combination of Gooden and Varejao has really been effective for Paul Silas.
And here is Mim. Now McGinnis, he had James open on the left wing, but McGinnis takes and is able to hit with the teardrop.
That's that little runner that he's really become so proficient with. We talk about it frequently, but Tony Parker, an excellent little touch with that teardrop. But McGinnis, one of the best in the league. He's been doing that for years.
McGinnis now 7 of 8 from the field. Odom getting it down low to Mim. Rebounded by Gooden. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, at halftime, Paul Silas tried to stress the importance of this game to his team. He said, guys, this is a big game. They lose Kobe Bryant, but we're the ones that lost energy and focus. We had 1 turnover in the first quarter, 9 in the second. We're not boxing out. They're getting too many easy shots. We have to be more aggressive if we're going to win this game.
And in talking with Paul earlier today, he was stressing that the first game of a long road trip is so significant. He said you feel so much better when you take that opening game, and this is a tough 6-game West Coast trip. Odom is fouled.
Now, this is a big game for Cleveland, Marv. Anytime you go on the road, that first one is important because if you lose, all of a sudden you lose a little momentum, you lose another one, and you're facing four more road games. Things can snowball against you pretty quickly. This is a crucial trip for the Cavaliers.
That was the 4th foul on Ilgauskas. 6-game road trip within a 12-day span, starting game 2 Saturday in Utah. On to Seattle.
That Jazz game looked a little easier about a week ago, didn't it? How about Utah coming off of big wins now over San Antonio and Phoenix? And we saw how good they were early in the season, Marv. When they get Andre Kirilenko back, that's a team that can make a run. Unfortunately for them, they've really fallen pretty far in the Western Conference standings.
Jazz tonight playing the Kings and trailing by 11 in the 4th quarter. James backing his way. James once again try to use the glass. Here comes Odom. 3-on-2, able to deliver to Butler. Butler. So the Lakers lead by 1.
Reminiscent of their days in Miami last year. Lamar Odom so comfortable leading that fast break, and Caron Butler extremely fast on the wing.
6 assists for Odom. Tractor trailer able to penetrate.
Beautiful feed by LeBron. That's something he does so well. Comes off a screen, and with his size, he's able to pass over or under defenders. Excellent passer.
Foul on trailer. Making contact with the former Cavalier, Chris Mim. Chris Mim spent 4 years with Cleveland. He was acquired from Boston along with Chucky Atkins, Jermaine Jones, and the deal for Gary Payton. Chris originally a first-round pick of the Bulls and then traded to the Cavs.
Finally getting a little stability here in Los Angeles, Marv, as Odom rises up and misses the 3. But Chris Mim had 5 coaches in 3 seasons. His first 3 years in the league. He's finally getting to a spot where he's getting consistent playing time.
3-point attempt from Newell, and again the Lakers on the run. Butler called for the charge. Offensive foul on Caron Butler.
It's a heck of a play by Ira Newell, who's really known for his defense. Watch this, 3-on-2 break for the Lakers. Atkins with the dish to Butler. Now watch Newell. Gets his feet outside that line, or does he? Maybe not. Looked like his foot was inside that line. Probably should have been a block, but I'm not a big fan of that circle, Marv. It seems to me if a guy gets there and he gets slammed into, it should be a charge. And I actually like the call.
Oh, LeBron James!
Oh my! Gives us a little stare as he runs back down the court. My goodness.
LeBron, 14 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, and that leads to a Laker timeout. Cavaliers by 3, 6:14 remaining. here in the third.
Can we see that one again, Marv? Yes, we can. Look at this. Just jumps right over Lamar Odom. Let's take a look from a different angle. Looks like a young Michael Jordan.
Laker head coach Rudy Tomjanovich, who took over from Phil Jackson after Rudy spent 34 years with the Houston Rockets as a player, coach, and scout. Head coach of the Rockets for 12 years, taking Houston to back-to-back NBA titles in 94-95. Rudy telling us earlier, we just can't find ourselves. We've had some good wins at Sacramento, against Minnesota, against Houston, but then we just fall on our face, and obviously now the concern is the physical status of Kobe Bryant. Trailer with a beautiful left-handed tip.
Yep. Talking to Rudy T, yes, he said we're trying to find ourselves, and I think that's a great point. The Lakers, you don't really know what they do, who they are. They don't force a lot of turnovers defensively, as Vujacic knocks down the three, but they don't score much in transition. But they're so dependent on Kobe Bryant, and now with this potential lengthy injury, we're going to find out what these guys can do without Kobe.
As Nubel makes his move, he took a hip check from Sasha Vujacic. Vujacic hitting that three-pointer a moment ago. Lakers, prior to that, the 3, 1 of 11 from downtown.
Well, I think some fans here are just happy that they're not casting so many of them up. 11 is nothing for them. They had 29 last night in the loss to Denver, making just 5. So a lot of people would love to see LA kind of get the ball closer to the basket as Gooden knocks down the jumper.
Drew Gooden with 4 field goals, all in this third quarter. Comes off a strong game against Charlotte, 8 of 13, 17 points. Nice move by Butler, but could not convert.
Good help defensively by Traylor. Keeps Butler from getting the basket. Now an excellent feed to Nubel.
Ira Nubel continues to find himself with open shots, and the reason is obvious. They do not respect his touch, but he has been taking advantage tonight. Steve, 4 of 7 from the field.
I played with Ira in San Antonio. He got those same shots because of the presence of Tim Duncan and David Robinson. He's been working on that shot for years, and now that he's knocking it down consistently, he's very effective.
Shot clock down to 1, and Chucky Atkins was bailed out as he was hit from behind. So Atkins fouled by McGinnis. Not a good foul.
Bailed out is right. 1 second on the shot clock. Watch McGinnis trailing the play at this point. You've got to let him go. Just brushes him from the back. And Atkins does a nice job of leaning back towards McGinnis, drawing the contact. Nice play by Chucky Atkins. Paul Silas cannot be very happy with that one.
Atkins is 73% free throw shooter. Looking for a place to get all the latest fantasy basketball news? Watch NBA TV Fantasy Hoops every night, 1 a.m. NBA TV, the only show on television dedicated to fantasy basketball. Cavaliers 67, Lakers 63. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager. We're at Staples in Los Angeles. Here is Gooden. This time he wants to kick it back out. Picked off by Atkins. Atkins with a pull-up 3. Yes! And the Lakers are within 1.
Well, Atkins got to the foul line to get a little rhythm with those 2 free throws, and then all of a sudden you get an open jumper. A lot easier to knock that thing down.
Just under 4 minutes to play. And the third, here's Traylor. Tractor Traylor feeling it with that medium-range jump shot.
He has been terrific this season. Marv missed 8 games with a finger injury, but was really playing well beforehand, and he's given this team a lift.
As has Chucky Atkins. So the Cavalier lead is now 1. Cavaliers have won 4 straight. They've taken 6 of the last 7. They're 21-12. That's the second best record in the East behind Miami. Butler ties up Traylor. Good play by Caron Butler.
Excellent play. You see Cleveland now trying to attack with LeBron James coming off that screen and roll. Lakers waiting in the perimeter, just begging Cleveland to shoot a three-pointer. They're near the bottom of the NBA in three-point attempts, Marv. They're not a team that likes to shoot that perimeter shot, so good strategy by the Lakers.
Back to telling teammates, my fault. Well, it would be.
Thanks for pointing out the obvious. Whose else would it be?
Tractor got tied up by Butler. Here's Butler. Oh! Caron Butler going baseline, and again, Paul Silas is upset. No help on Butler.
We saw that so often in the first half. Lakers getting to the rim at will. Cleveland had done a better job so far in the third quarter, but not that time.
Here's James from downtown. Rebound handled by Gooden. James on it. Back to Gooden. Lakers with the ball. They lead by a point as we come up on 2.5 remaining in this third quarter in what has developed into a good ball game here at Staples. Another three-point attempt. Butler not able to hit. Rebounded by Newble.
I think ultimately the Cavaliers need to get some better perimeter shooters if they're going to be a championship contender. That's why they drafted Luke Jackson this year out of Oregon. As Traylor misses the 20-footer, but Jackson out for the year with a back injury. They haven't been able to find great perimeter shooting surrounding LeBron James, which is going to be crucial.
Luke Jackson, the rookie, who underwent the operation on his back. There's Cook for three. It's a quick release by Cook, so the Lakers now 3 of 15 from downtown.
They're determined to get those 23 up. I guess they normally do. Cleveland's been very careless with the basketball here in the third quarter. Not much offensive rhythm at all.
Innes throwing behind. Traylor is able to recover. Oh, nice recovery by LeBron James with the shot clock running down.
Ugly, ugly possession. So many mishandled passes. LeBron James finally making something of that possession. The Cavaliers do not look like the team that's won 6 out of 7.
Reaching foul on McGinnis. Non-shooting foul for the Cavs. It's their fourth. Minute 12 remaining in this third quarter, and the Cavaliers lead by 1. Caron Butler a moment ago able to sky and stuff. Back to Staples in LA. Steve, our second check of Celebrity Row. Demi Moore on hand. It's Hall of Famer Eddie Murray on the right. Doug DeSensei, one-time Angel and Oriole teammate of Eddie Murray's. Andy Garcia and Jack.
Jack, the ever-present Jack.
Minute 12 remaining in this third quarter. Cavs up by 1, and you look at the stats to this point, and things on the even side.
Yeah, Cavaliers have not taken good care of the basketball tonight. That's what's led to those 12 Laker points. 14 turnovers tonight so far for Cleveland. That's what they average, Marv. They're one of the better teams in the NBA in terms of taking care of the basketball. Not so tonight. They've been very, very sloppy.
Our statistician Chuck Gardner making the point that Doug DeSensei replaced Brooks Robinson at third for the Orioles. 24-second violation is called. That's why we showed Doug DeSensei.
I don't know if we've ever had a Doug DeSensei sighting at Staples. Or if we have, we haven't shown him. So he is enjoying newly found star status among the Hollywood crowd here.
Doug happened to be sitting next to a Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Doug, a solid player.
Remember the close stance that he had as a batter?
Let's continue talking about Doug DeSensei. I can't get enough.
I can't get enough. I just can't forget that funny batting stance that he had. All right, back to the game, Mark.
Down to 46 seconds remaining in the third. Cavaliers have led by as many as 8. Lakers able to turn it in the second quarter. Good with a nice pullback move on Grant, but nowhere to go. Shot clock to 5. Here's Good. One-handed by Butler.
Lakers with a chance for a quick 2-for-1 here.
Pass intended for Grant. Back comes Newble. Here's James. 4-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Wild pass thrown by LeBron James, who's upset with himself.
He may be upset with Gooden, but he should be upset with himself. That's a tough pass to handle, and this has been a very, very ugly last several minutes by both teams. Both clubs just tossing the ball around at will. Not much value on the basketball here.
Final seconds of the quarter, tripping foul on James, and it puts Cleveland over the foul limit.
Disappointing effort here for Cleveland so far since Kobe Bryant went down, and there's almost been a letdown. Kenny Smith talked about it at halftime. Sometimes you get so pumped up to face a guy like Kobe, you set your whole game plan for it. All of a sudden he goes down and everything changes, and it's not just the game plan. It seems to be that there's a lack of energy here from Cleveland.
That's what Paul Silas told Craig Sager at halftime, concerned on this game one of a 6-game Western trip. Final second, and that's the end of the third. Lakers and Cavaliers tied at 71. Cavaliers trying to make it 5 straight wins, 7 of their last 8. Record of 21-12 coming. Odom getting a rest. He has played well, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. He's taken over after the departure of Kobe Bryant, sidelined with that severely sprained right ankle you mentioned earlier. The x-ray's negative. There will be an MRI tomorrow. They're checking to see if there was ligament damage. Nice pass, a reverse block by Gooden.
What great defensive help from Gooden after the double team, and now the turnover from James.
Butler with the steal. Traveler able to get back. Nice pass. Jermaine Jones from Caron Butler.
Boy, I have seen so many mental errors from Cleveland tonight. An obvious 3-on-2 situation. LeBron fails to cover the basket, and I think ever since Zydrunas Ilgauskas left this game with his 4th foul, Marv, the Cavs have really lost their offensive rhythm.
Here's Newble off a screen. The tip missed by Traveler. Butler now being played by James. Here Brown running the team at the point. Here's Brown gunning it out. Cook for 3. Yes.
Well, that's his game, Marv. A 3-point shooting big man. And when you have a guy 6'10" playing the 4 spot who can shoot threes, it really stretches that defense out.
The Lakers with their biggest lead on the night. Brian Cook looking to turn it from the 0 for 8 in Denver last night. Rudy Tomjanovich very upset with his team last night. Understandably, he blasted the team at halftime and at the end of the game following the loss in Denver to the Nuggets. Did not have a shoot around because it's a late flight back to LA, but he had his team out here just before 5:30, a couple of hours before the game.
It's rare for an NBA coach to run his players through a walkthrough just a couple hours before the game. Usually there's a film session, but Rudy uncharacteristically very upset last night, really lashed out at his Laker team. So upset, as we mentioned earlier, Mark, this team has yet to win 3 games in a row all season, coming off those 2 big victories over Houston and Minnesota. He was expecting a much better effort against Denver.
Here's James digging for the bucket. He is fouled. For more on the Lakers, let's go to Craig.
Well, you mentioned how upset Rudy Tomjanovich was at halftime and immediately after the game. However, when he grabbed his team today, he said, "Listen, guys, I'm just happy to see you." That's because when they came in last night, they had an emergency landing at LAX. The landing flap on one of the wings would not go down as they made their approach. The plane then had to abort the landing, circle the city for another 25 minutes. A secondary procedure then did work. They had the emergency trucks out on the runway. They did make the landing safely. He saw the team today. He said, "Listen, our shots didn't go down in Denver. The flaps didn't go down the plane, but I'm glad we're all here today."
It has been quite a 24-hour stretch for the Lakers. They come out here tonight, and then Kobe Bryant suffers the severely sprained right ankle. Lakers lead at 76-72. They have played well here tonight, coming back from an 8-point deficit. Forced pass by Caron Butler.
Cavs went back to a zone defense there. Took the Lakers a little bit out of their rhythm and forced that turnover.
Anderson Varejao back on the floor, played well in the first half. Here's Ilgauskas playing with the 4 fouls. He is rejected by Cook. Cook came over from the blind side. Pierre Brown for 3. Grant not able to get to the rebound. Ilgauskas got a piece of it. Snow pushing it down. Hands it off to James. Oh, what a changeup by LeBron James. Started with a power move and then a little flip shot.
Tierra Brown was in perfect position to draw the charge, but he's not used to players actually jumping over him and then finger rolling the ball in. Spectacular play by James.
Brown with the ball fake. Went to the left hand as he challenged the 7'3" Ilgauskas, who did not want to pick up number 5. Here's Lucius Harris. Rebounded by Ilgauskas and a foul. It's on Butler.
Beautiful play by Brown, who attacked that Cleveland zone. Second possession in a row where the Cavaliers went zone. It bothered the Lakers the first time, but Brown was ready for it there, doing what point guards should do against the zone, attacking the seam.
Foul on Caron Butler, his 4th. Here's James on a quick release, a catch and shoot for LeBron James, who now has 21 points, along with 11 rebounds, 7 assists. So he is 3 assists away from his first ever career double. Butler trying from downtown, and back comes Snow. Good ball movement by the Cavaliers. Now Cook defending on James. Grant switches off. James from a tough angle. LeBron James has given the Cavaliers a spark here in the 4th quarter. The game is tied at 78.
He's improved his game in so many areas, but that's probably the most improvement is with his jump shot. Shooting 49% this year as opposed to 41 a year ago. He's a different player, Mark.
Here comes James going 1-on-2, and he was rejected. Back comes Brown. You know LeBron wanted to hear the crowd explode.
Oh, he's going to get a chance here. Oh, he had a breakaway, but a foul called on Jermaine Jones. LeBron was ready to throw down a slam here in front of this Laker crowd, but didn't get the opportunity.
Well, LeBron James with all 7 Cavalier points in this 4th quarter, just under 8 minutes remaining. This is a game that has seen 13 ties, 14 lead changes.
I remember talking to Paul Silas. We asked him about LeBron. He said one area that he's really made improvement in is just his understanding of the situation. His team's struggling here in the 4th quarter, so he turns it on offensively. A year ago, I don't know if he felt comfortable taking over a game by shooting. Remember, he's more naturally a passer, but boy, does he understand this game.
Harris, yes. Lucius Harris has given the Cavs a 2-point lead, and the Lakers want to talk it over with 7:36 to play in this 4th quarter.
Well, the inside presence of Zydrunas Ilgauskas is so important to this team. He draws defensive help, finds a wide open Lucius Harris. Cleveland by 2.
I'm a lot more comfortable out there. I know I'm the leader of this team now. Coming to the year last year, I was just trying to feel my way, just playing off athletic talent. Then, I'm more talented now than I was last year, but I'm more comfortable. My teammates look at me to do a lot of things, and when I have that right away to know that if I make a mistake, it's all right. I feel more. I'm able to go out there and play my game.
Paul Silas talking with us about LeBron James earlier, saying that he's come so far from last year, and he's particularly pleased with LeBron's shot selection.
Well, look at the percentages, 49% this year. Remember last year he was struggling to kind of figure out the NBA game. With a year under his belt, I think he understands now how the game is played and what his role in it should be.
Cavaliers with a 9-2 run the last 3 minutes, and that has been catapulted by the play of LeBron James. Lakers give it back on the turnover. Here's Harris wide open. Lakers did not get set defensively, and it is knocked out of bounds by Jermaine Jones of the Lakers.
Second time now in this game that the Lakers have not gotten back after a turnover, instead talking amongst themselves. So important in this game, Marv, to make that transition from offense to defense.
5 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. Snow and Harris now in the backcourt for the Cavaliers. Here's James with a fall away. Kept alive. Once again, the energy of Horatio getting to that loose ball, but Lakers get it back. Butler try to squeeze his way through and drew the foul.
Lakers going with a little zone defense of their own, Marvin. Cleveland struggling to find a good shot against you. You saw LeBron shooting that fadeaway 22-footer and then the turnover from Snow. So both teams strategically adding the zone in here or there.
Lakers trail by 2. They double up on Mim. Shot clock down to 2. Jones for 3. Kept alive by Butler, and the game is tied at 80.
Oh, he's in the right place at the right time. You saw Verjao and Ilgauskas go after that rebound. Lucky bounce going right to Butler, but that's what you expect when you hang around the basket. You're going to get a few of those.
18 and 11 for Caron Butler. Harris is fouled. Harris fouled on the act. That's number 5 on Butler. First of our doubleheader in overtime. Houston knocked off the Nets 94-85. Rockets playing well. 3 straight wins. Record of 19 and 17.
Yeah, they're picking it up. And how about the injury to Richard Jefferson? Such a tough thing for New Jersey. Now you've got Kobe injured. And certainly these types of injuries change the entire playoff landscape. We'll see how the Nets and the Lakers can survive with these injuries.
Lakers have been an up and down team all season. Rudy Tomjanovich saying we just can't put it together. We win a couple, then we fall on our face. That's certainly the case last night of the game in Denver, but without Kobe here tonight, Lakers showing energy, something they did not demonstrate last night. And as we discussed earlier, in the short term, when a star goes down, sometimes a team will react, but in the long term, different story. That will count. A foul.
Well, in the short term, this guy has really picked it up, and you could see from the moment Kobe went out of this game, Lamar Odom decided to take over. He has been a force getting to the rim all night long, taking advantage of those long arms, that speed. Didn't see much of a foul there, but Rudy Tomjanovich will take it. Odom now with a chance to extend the Laker lead.
And that was number 5 on Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
See what Paul Silas decides to do here, whether he gives Ilgauskas a couple minutes rest. I think he's been crucial to the Cavalier offense when he's been out on the floor and they establish his low post presence. Cavaliers offense clicking much more smoothly.
Lakers up 83-81.
Lakers back to the zone. This has bothered Cleveland now 3 straight possessions.
Shot clock at 3. James off balance, fires it up. Rebounded by Jones. Jermaine Jones able to hand off to Sasser Vujacic, who is checked back in, getting much playing time after Bryant went down. Odom being guarded now by Newell. Vujacic's shot blocked by James. And a foul. Blocking foul, and you see the reaction. It's on Jermaine Jones.
Well, Rudy T doesn't like it. The crowd doesn't like it, but it's a good call by the officials. You'll see now when LeBron James goes up to catch the ball, he has to be able to come down. And watch, he'll be up in the air. Jermaine Jones gets underneath him. LeBron just lands, and that's a good call by the officials.
And it puts the Lakers over the foul limit. So James to the line. LeBron is playing with that face guard, protecting the broken cheekbone. He has had a terrific game here tonight. It's point number 24, along with 12 rebounds, 7 assists. National coverage of the NBA continuing this week. Tomorrow night, which is actually Friday night, Eastern time zone, Central time zone. On ESPN2, it's Dallas and San Antonio at 8 o'clock. On ESPN, Minnesota and Denver at 10:30. And Saturday on NBA TV, San Antonio and Houston at 8:30 start. Ilgauskas able to collect rebound number 13.
Paul Silas getting Jeff McGinnis back into this game for Harris. Much more capable against that zone, has been shooting the ball so well from the perimeter. Cleveland probably is going to have to knock down some outside shots to get rid of this Lakers zone.
All right, here's LeBron pitching it out to McGinnis with 2 on the shot clock. McGinnis did well to get that shot off. Vujacic all over him. Here comes Vujacic, but Snow was able to retreat. Atkins with room for 3. Kept alive by Jones. Good catch by Mim, and he's fouled by Noble. Good hands by Chris Mim, and he'll go to the line.
I'm impressed, Marv, with the Lakers' energy tonight. Ever since Kobe left, you could see they really picked it up. Now remember, this is a club that has not forced turnovers all season. Dead last in the league in steals, 12 tonight. Look at the points as a result of those steals. And I think it's the Lakers' response to Kobe's injury that really has gotten them to this point.
Him only a 69% free throw shooter. It's given the Lakers a 1-point lead. 4 minutes, 5 seconds to play in this fourth quarter. Odom slapping it to the corner, saved by Jones.
Those long arms of Lamar Odom.
There's Odom for 3. Snow looking to set it up. Guinness and Snow now in the backcourt. Ilgauskas putting moves on Mim and draws the foul.
That's why he is so important to this team. Marv, you see the last several possessions when the Lakers went zone, Cleveland struggling to find anything, but when you've got a 7'2" target down on the block, just throwing the ball into him threatens the Laker defense, and Ilgauskas will now go to the line.
Foul number 4 on Chris Mim. Jonas Ilgauskas, 83% free throw shooter.
You jinxed him. Blame it on you, Marv.
Cavaliers now 9 of 13 at the line. So the game is tied at 84.
Well, you'd think Cleveland would have the advantage. This is Paul Silas's closing lineup. He loves to play Snow at the point with McGinnis at the 2. The Lakers, meanwhile, don't have Kobe. They may not be used to closing games without their star.
Vujacic not able to hit the 3, and a foul is called on Newell. Bernie Fryer saying, stay right here. And for the Cavaliers, it is team foul number 4. Lakers now 4 for 22 from downtown. That is not a happy man. Head coach Paul Silas not pleased with his team's play, in particular at the defensive end.
I've been impressed with the play of Chris Mim tonight. He's brought a lot of energy to this Laker front line. He caused that Cleveland foul right there on Newell.
There's Mim going high off glass. Wow.
Jump hook. We saw one of those in the first half. Lakers making a point now of getting the ball into Mim.
13 points from Mim, and the Lakers are up by 2 with just under 3 to go in this fourth quarter.
And they go back to the zone. We'll see if the Cavs can get anything going against it.
Here's Snow for 3. Yes!
My goodness.
Eric Snow from downtown. The Cavaliers up by a point. That's his first field goal.
That's his 5th three-pointer of the season, Marv. So Rudy T had the Cavs exactly where he wanted them. Shot clock running down and non-3-point shooter shooting, but he knocks it down.
Odom gets inside. Lamar Odom. Lakers by 1, 22 for Odom. As we approach 2 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Oh, McGinnis able to save that pass. Here's McGinnis. Ilgauskas, tough angle. Rebounded by Vujacic.
Well, with Newell playing the 4, Marvin, this small lineup, he's got to take the taller Lamar Odom. So look for the Lakers to try to go to him down on the block.
And this crowd very much into it. Odom putting the move on Newble. Newble gets help. McGinnis comes over. Shot clock is down to 2. Atkins stripped and a foul. Cleveland over the limit, so the Lakers will head to the line. Foul is on Snow. Timeout is taken.
Meantime, we got a good one here as Atkins knocks down the free throw. If you're the Lakers, you got to think you go to Lamar Odom. Without Kobe on the floor for the Cavs, they've got to find a way to solve this zone defense. Wouldn't shock me to see the Lakers in it again if they do. Cleveland really with just 2 3-point shooters on the team, James and McGinnis. They've got to get the ball inside to Ilgauskas to make this zone defense collapse.
Lakers have a 3-point lead. McGinnis and an ocean to gun from downtown. Snow for McGinnis for 3. Comes up short. And last touch by the Cavaliers. So the Lakers take over with 1:15 remaining in this fourth quarter, trying to pull out a dramatic victory after Kobe Bryant went down with the ankle sprain midway through the first quarter.
And now Cleveland has switched LeBron James on to Lamar Odom, so we'll see if he can cover him down on the block. Major size advantage for Lamar.
Odom had to give it up. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Odom. Rebounded by Mim. James was going to fire from downtown, and that would not have been a good shot. Early, very early on the shot clock.
You could hear the entire crowd gasping.
Around their feet here at Staples. Atkins with a runner. Rebounded by Ilgauskas. We come up on a half minute to play in this fourth quarter. Cavaliers in possession, down by 3, and Paul Silas says, let's talk this over.
He wanted the timeout early, Marvin. He didn't get it, and that's actually crucial. They wasted 6 or 7 seconds. Now they're probably not going to be able to get a 2-for-1.
A look at the timeouts remaining. Cavs have a full and a 20. Lakers 2 full timeouts and a 20. Neither team foul to give. They're both over the limit.
Cavs just 1 field goal in the last 7 minutes, largely due to this Lakers zone. Be interesting to see if they play zone here, though, Marv. If they're up 3, a zone leaves them susceptible to a 3-point shot, which will tie the game. I wouldn't be shocked to see them go back to the man-to-man, in which case Cleveland's got to attack the rim, try to get to the line.
And the Lakers have done a good job at the defensive end. They've held the Cavs to 1 field goal the last 7 minutes. Lakers up 90-87. 28 seconds to play in the fourth. 18 on the shot clock. Ilgauskas, they go for the 2. That is a possible 3-point play, but Ilgauskas was racked up, and he will go to the line to shoot 2 with 25.2 remaining. Foul on Mim, that is number 5. Zydrunas is 2 of 4 at the line.
A smart play by the Cavaliers. Rudy T saying, we're not going to give you an open 3 by playing zone. So they go to the man-to-man. Ilgauskas with a big advantage size-wise down there on the block. He gets a chance to knock down, well, now just 1 free throw. And that's crucial because the other end, a couple of made free throws leads to a 2-possession ball game.
And Ilgauskas, as we mentioned earlier, an 83% free throw shooter. It's 1 of 2. It's a 2-point game. And the foul. On the inbound, Jeff McGinnis has been over-aggressive going for the steal. Let's call for the foul.
Atkins, putting on a little bit of an act. There was nothing flagrant about that, but now he goes to the line. He's a 73% foul shooter, so Cleveland hoping he'll miss 1 to keep it a 1-possession game, but either way, Cleveland's got to get back and attack the other rim, the other end. Offensively, they do have a timeout to use, 1 and a 20, so they can advance the ball.
Chucky Atkins now 5 for 5 at the line. Lakers back up by 3. Cleveland has the 2 timeouts remaining. Lakers 92, the Cavaliers 88. Cleveland down to 1 timeout remaining. They have a 20-second timeout left to see the time remaining. Both teams over the foul limit. Lakers by 4. How do the Cavs play it here?
Well, they've gone into Ilgauskas now the last couple of times, but remember, he's missed 2 free throws in the last few minutes. I think you've got to get LeBron James going to the rim, trying to create either a three-point attempt for McGinnis or trying to get to the line himself. I don't know if Ilgauskas has the confidence to knock down free throws right now, having missed a couple.
James will throw in. Ilgauskas back to James, and miscommunication. So the Lakers get it back. Foul is given by McGinnis. That will be a bad memory when they look back at this one.
18 turnovers, and this being the worst one. James was cutting baseline. Watch here, he's setting him up for a cut. Ilgauskas throwing it right back to him where he's already left that area. And I think Ilgauskas was expecting James to shoot a 3. James looked like he wanted the baseline drive and pass.
Butler now 5 for 5 from the line. Lakers have done a good job at the line, 23 of 28, in contrast to last night. They had their difficulties in Denver, 22 of 32 last night. Cavaliers use their final timeout. Lakers by 6.
What
22 seconds remaining in the fourth.
What a disappointing effort here tonight by the Cavaliers with Kobe Bryant out. This is normally a team that takes pretty good care of the basketball. They average 14 a game. And remember, the Lakers last in the league in steals. They've forced 18 turnovers, some of them unforced like that last one, but very subpar effort from a Cleveland team that had won 6 of 7, 4 straight, and disappointing way to get off on this 6-game road trip, Marv.
Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai, coming up, and the guys will have more on the injury suffered by Kobe Bryant, severely sprained right ankle, x-rays negative. There will be an MRI tomorrow. They will look to see if there is ligament damage. Down to 20 seconds to play as McGinnis fires and hits from downtown. Still lots of time, 17.8, and a timeout taken by the Lakers. It's a 3-point Laker lead. Jeff McGinnis from downtown to cut it to 3. Jeff McGinnis a moment ago knocked down that three-pointer, so it's a 3-point Laker lead. Cavaliers do not have any timeouts remaining, but the key here, Steve, the inbounds pass by the Lakers.
Well, you'll probably see Lamar Odom inbounding the pass because of his size and the fact that he's a poor foul shooter. For the Lakers, they'd like to get the ball either to Atkins, who's 6 for 6 tonight, or Caron Butler, who's an 89% free throw shooter on the year.
17 and 8/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Lakers 94 and the Cavaliers 91.
Cavs with no timeouts left. They've got to try to force a turnover and just go at the other end.
And Lamar Odom is forced to take a timeout to avoid a 5-second violation. He could not find anyone.
Well, they've got one more left, 20, and we've seen this so often. Referees usually reluctant to call fouls in this situation. They're going to call the 20 now and save the full. But most officials are going to let the defense be pretty physical on this inbounds play, and it's very difficult as an offensive team to all of a sudden just throw the ball in, especially when you're used to going to Kobe Bryant in this situation. So Lakers in an unusual position trying to close out this game. Here's what I'm talking about. Watch Chucky Atkins really getting held a little bit there by McGinnis, and then Lucius Harris steps over and gets mugged. But again, officials reluctant to make calls like that. They want to see the game decided on the floor. So, and that's why it's so good to have Kobe Bryant, because he's so physical in this situation.
Odom's inbounds pass was deflected by Snow, and Caron Butler says, hey, I was fouled. There's no call, so the Lakers will have to throw in again, and this time Odom moves further down that near side. Odom again looks, gets it into Jermaine Jones, and this time there's a foul. It's on Newble.
Well, Jones probably not the guy that Rudy T really wants to see at the line. He's a decent foul shooter, But the problem for him is he's only been to the line 24 times. He's made 19 on the year, but unaccustomed to this type of pressure situation.
And the first time that he's at the line tonight.
Normally you want somebody who's been there already, who's got a little rhythm like Atkins, who's made 6 for 6.
And Jones Conley hits the first. So the Lakers now lead it 95-91. Here's Tierre Brown coming on for Chris Mims. 16.9 remaining.
Cleveland with no timeouts left, so they've got to push the ball. They've got their small lineup in. They've basically got about 5 guards in. Look for James to push the ball.
All right, here comes James. It's a 4-point Laker lead. James fires for 3. Yes! It's a 1-point game. 9 8/10 seconds remaining as the foul is given. That'll send Butler to the line. LeBron James from downtown. So he has 28 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, and he brings the Cavs within 1.
Remember, we talked about how much more comfortable James is this year in the fourth quarter, and Caron Butler probably giving him way too much room, but how about the shot by James? And now Butler, the 89% foul shooter, has to knock down 2.
He's 6 of 6 at the line. On that foul, Ira Newble picked up number 6.
And what Phil Jackson used to love to do in this situation is take the full minute that coaches are allotted to sub in. That way you make the shooter freeze a little bit. And we'll see now if Silas delays as long as he can. Looks like he will.
All right, he wanted Caron to think about it.
He didn't take as long as he had. I think he only used up about 30 seconds. Probably could have taken a little bit longer, but we'll see now if Butler can knock this down. And the other end, you've got LeBron James coming full bore at you.
So Caron Butler, after hitting 6 straight, misses on a 7th attempt, 9.3 remaining. It's a 1-point game. The Cavaliers very much alive. They do not have any timeouts left. Butler hits the second, and here come the Cavaliers. Final seconds of regulation. James looking for the win. Rebounded by Harris, and a foul. Loose ball foul. It's against Cleveland with 1 and 8/10 seconds remaining in the fourth.
Well, down 2, you kind of think maybe you should go to the rim. LeBron's so strong, and the Lakers not wanting to foul to send him to the line. But I think James just figured, look, I just made one of these. I'm going to go for the win.
See the disappointment beyond the face mask of LeBron James, and now Lamar Odom at the line. He's 6 of 8 at the free throw line.
You just, you look at LeBron James, 6'8", 240. You're down 2, and you know the Lakers don't want to foul. I'd like to see him go to the basket in that situation, and if they react, maybe somebody else has an open shot, but probably settled for a bad one.
So the Lakers able to hold on and come away with the victory to make it 3 wins the last 4 games. They do it despite the injury suffered by Kobe Bryant midway through the first quarter. They have defeated the Cavaliers. So the Lakers go to 19-15. The Cavaliers, who had won 4 straight, are now 21-13. And the key man for the Los Angeles Lakers, Lamar Odom. He's with Craig.
Well, Lamar, you carried this team offensively, kind of took over, but talk about the defense, especially you guys went to that zone holding them without a field goal for nearly 8 minutes.
When we play good team defense, our offense plays, we play a lot better. It's cohesive out there. That's just what we have to do, man. With Kobe or without him, just got to become a good defensive team.
How difficult was it to try to close it out, knowing you couldn't throw it into Kobe?
It was. It was, because, he saves us, but, we got everybody to make plays. We knocked our free throws down, and we got this one for Kobe.
Tough 24 hours. The loss last night to Denver, and then the emergency landing at the airport. Now you have to go through the injury to Kobe. What's it been like emotionally?
God is good. We're here. We made it. Play another game, and Kobe get better.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Craig. 24 for Odom, 21 for Butler. LeBron James, 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. The Lakers pull it out. They defeat the Cavaliers 98 to 94.